So it's been almost 2 years since I first started growing out my hair, and it's safe to say during that time I've had my fair share of both positive and negative experiences. In today's video, we're going to be discussing both the pros and cons of growing out your hair and ultimately having longer hair in general. As always, before we do, please drop this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it or find it helpful. It lets me know you guys like seeing these types of videos. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It's free and you can always change your mind later. And a big thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring today's video. So getting straight into the pros, long hair is exclusive. Those that have long hair and therefore are able to do longer hairstyles are only in that position because they've gone through the process of growing it out. It sounds self-explanatory, but if you've ever tried growing out your hair, you'll know how tough and tricky that awkward stage can be. So it's a pretty cool token to know that once you get through that awkward stage, you essentially enter this new realm of hairstyling, which is locked behind a lot of patience and perseverance. The second pro is less maintenance. Starting with having less haircuts, styling your hair less frequently, which in turn means you'll need to wash your hair less, and then eventually you'll find yourself only really attending to your hair once every several days. I like this point a lot because it somewhat slices off a big part of getting ready every day, which in an ideal world will leave you more time in the morning for some self-reflection or to go on a run, or ultimately to have a lay-in. I understand that isn't necessarily realistic, but it's a positive approach to have. The third pro is bad hair days don't exist. It feels like it's been so long since I've had shorter hair that I've almost forgotten what it feels like to have a bad hair day. You know those mornings where you try and style your hair, it's not working with you, and then you're kind of just forced to leave the house regardless of how your hair looks. Longer hair doesn't really change all too much. You can either have it down or have it tied up. Those are your two predominant styles. And so if you're a guy who's into having consistent looks, longer hair is definitely something to consider. The last pro on this list is that it looks good. This is obviously very subjective, but since this video is about my personal experience with longer hair, I've really enjoyed the looks and styles of it. When I first started growing my hair, I had the man bun in mind simply because I really liked the look on other people. And now that I'm here, I'm really glad that I've done it at least the once. Also, having seen high profile names adopt longer hair makes it a pretty modern and up-to-date hairstyle. And before we get into the second half of this video where we discuss the downsides of having longer hair, a quick message from today's video sponsor. Manscaped is the world's leading brand for below the belt grooming, most commonly known for their Lawnmower 3.0, but more recently they've released their nose and ear trimmer known as the Weed Whacker, which is cordless, waterproof, and designed with skin-safe technology, making it a must for any modern man. Nose hairs creep up on you if you don't maintain them, and due to its contoured design, it couldn't be any easier to do so with this trimmer. It can feel unusual having a trimmer up your nose, but safety and skin-safe technology is a driving force in the development of new Manscaped products. Manscaped are also partnered with Testicular Cancer Society to educate and bring awareness for the most common form of cancer amongst guys aged 15 to 35. Be sure to use code Luca at checkout for 20% off your total order and free shipping. And again, a massive thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring today's video. Identity. This could potentially be considered a pro of growing out your hair, but personally I see it as a con. It goes without saying growing out your hair is a commitment. It can take upwards of 18 months to grow out your hair, and so even considering going back to shorter hair and kind of removing all of that progress you've made can be daunting. Personally, an abundance of what ifs spring to mind when I even mildly consider cutting my hair. What if I regret it? What if I prefer having longer hair? And the list goes on. You attach yourself to the idea that you are that guy with long hair, and it can feel somewhat restricting when considering a change of style. We briefly touched on this in the last point, but growing out your hair takes a long time. While this wasn't particularly an issue for me because it's something I had fully commit myself to, I can imagine this point alone being a huge turn off for others. I started growing my hair out from a relatively short length, I'd say about average, and it took about a year to be able to tie my hair up. However, it took about 18 months to tie my hair comfortably. That's 18 months of going through this awkward stage where you don't really know what to do with your hair, all for a hairstyle that in the end you might not even be a fan of. Again, for me, this wasn't a problem because I established that regardless of how it looked, I wanted to try it at least once in my life, and so that was kind of my motivation, my driving force of growing my hair out regardless of how challenging it got. For the average get up and go type of guy, having longer hair or growing out your hair isn't the most practical. For example, it can be frustrating to run or do any exercise with long hair, and it can be difficult to make longer hair look professional. And so if you're a younger guy at school or someone who works in an office environment, longer hair might not always be the best option. I have friends that work in professional environments that have longer hair, and there are plenty of athletes with longer hair. So it's not impossible to do so, it just makes it a lot more challenging than if you were to have shorter hair. And lastly, it can be somewhat limited. One of my favorite things about growing my hair was the versatility I possessed. I could style my hair in plenty different ways, try a bunch of new products, which made it a pretty exciting time frame in regards to hairstyling. These days, I feel just as limited as I did when I had really short hair, and that's ultimately because when you hit a certain length, there's only really two styles that you have to choose from, and that's between having it down or having it tied up. And although there are a variety of options when tying your hair, it's not quite the same as being able to go from a slick back to a pompadour. That brings this video to an end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, a thumbs up is greatly appreciated. Again, it lets me know you guys like seeing these types of videos. Subscribe if you haven't already, it's free to do so, and you can always change your mind at a later date. And if you're interested in the odd bit of hair inspo, be sure to check out my Instagram at Lucasantangelo. But until then, I will see you all in the next one. Take care guys, bye bye.